interesting because a lot of us started to. I mean, we started off in the gym as this would be our, to our stress relief, and because we took it to that level, it became the stress. And then, where am I going to go after this? So I think we shouldn't really take anything else as a sport. I think we should actually just put our feet up.
Exactly. That's why I say, I think when you have a competitive mindset, to replace it with a different sport, I think you become a competitor in that sport. So look at something completely different. So we step outside the box.
Would you relate this to someone with like ADHD, that he's too hyperactive and then you need to calm him down? And I think bodybuilders kind of have the same sort of structure. They're too hyper. You need to bring them down. I think one of the main things that I've realized in America especially is that most bodybuilders, because they're so hyper and they're on so much stimulants and they're very aggressive, they smoke weed a lot.
Yep.
To bring them down to that calm phase, if that makes sense. Do you agree with that?
I definitely. I think also there is a little technique that I got taught by a guy called Dr. Richard Bandler, who's kind of like one of my mentors, who created neurolinguistic program.
Right. Super
intelligent guy, 5 PhDs, super smart, right? And he once taught me the 4 corners of the universe. You want to try this?
Yes, go for it.
Okay. So just do this so you can see the 4 corners of the universe. Okay?
All right.
So anybody watching this,
All
you
right.
make that sign, so you got 4 corners, right?
Guys, I promise you that's not a vagina.
It might be. Okay, very tight. Anyway, and this is how you breathe. I'm going to do this first, so just watch me. You breathe through the 4 corners of the universe. You do this. And then you just keep sucking in, and then breathe out.
Okay.
And then through the 4 corners of the universe again. Hold it. Breathe out. Man, that's good shit, right? Yeah.
Okay, this
Because
is
the funny thing is,
This
right,
is weird.
anybody that's ever smoked weed before in their life suddenly gets the same thought process back in their brain. Because your brain has an association with things you've already done. So you can smoke weed without smoking weed. I call it smoking weed just through the 4 corners of the universe. You want to show something else? Watch this, right? Watch this.
This is becoming too exciting now.
Take it. Watch me. Let me do this first, right?
All right.
You do this. You do this now. Let it go. And you find it massive like now.
Yeah.
Because the only person that's ever done that,
Guys, this is
the
so
only
funny.
person that's ever done that is when you've been to a dentist, right? So your brain has an association because nobody else has done that to you before, except for when you've been to a dentist.
Well, guys, try this because this is actually real. I actually did that and I think finger out and just rub it off.
Wow.
And you'll actually feel like your mouth is
It's
actually
really weird,
numb.
like you get this like numb feeling.
Okay. So this is awesome, guys. I mean, this is exactly why I'm here, guys. This is so interesting how we just kind of get stuck in one corner, and we never actually try to expand.
I think what people don't realise to the full extent that they should realise is that your brain is this tremendous learning machine, and it learns from so many different areas. But sometimes we don't open ourselves up to see resources we have inside of ourselves that we've learned in different ways that we can apply in our bodybuilding, that we can apply in our nutrition, that we can apply in our posing routine, that we can apply in being a better runner, a better gymnast, a better athlete.
Right.
Yeah, there's resources that we have inside of us that we've learned, that we've used for other things, that if you just know how to then reapply them in the specifics that you want, you have a lot of tools.
Right. This is amazing, guys. But here, we're going to drop the bomb here since Elliot started to talk about bodybuilding. Guys, Elliot is an actual bodybuilder from the age of 16?
17 at first show.
17, first show.
17
as a junior.
Yeah, 17 as a junior. I'll never forget. I competed in my first show, 17, in a place called Hornsey in London. Mr. Titan. It doesn't even exist anymore because, that's long gone. Yeah, I was a junior.
Where did you place there?
I won.
You see what I mean, guys?
Is there
don't
any other
interview
place
losers.
to come?
Yeah.
Like, really?
Yeah, well, there you are. So you're Mr. Titan here.
Mr. Titan! Yeah.
So,
and I've competed, so I've done 17 shows
right.
over those years. Variety of different shows, northeast, southeast.
So you went from a junior up to
a junior, up to like heavyweight was what I last competed in, was the Northeast. I came second at the Northeast Championships.
Fantastic. And that was the EFBB back then.
The EFBB, yeah, right, back in the day for all you old timers.
Right. Well, the EFBB guys, let's call it the UKBFF today. That now is segregated, so we don't want to get into that. I'd rather just talk about
Leave politics.
Politics, no for me. But Elliot, here the question: you're a bodybuilder now. You have a mindset of a bodybuilder. You still train.
Yep.
Today we train together, which is amazing. You had a spinal injury and two spinal surgeries.
So let me tell you how this has come about, because a lot of people think it's 2 spinal surgeries.
All right.
Actually, in effect, it's 3.
Okay.
So I'll tell you the story. So I was about 23. And I was in the LA. I came back from LA, living in LA. See, I was one of these obsessional bodybuilders. Like, when I was 19, I was like, I want to be the best. I want to be the motherfucking best person out there. Where am I going to train? I know, Golds. I didn't know a single person in LA. Right? I got on a plane, I had $1,000 in my pocket. I went and I knew I wanted to train at Golds. I didn't have a work permit, I didn't have a visa. Right? And I ended up living there for 2 years. And training in Golds and thinking I was this great junior, because here I was, won so many junior shows, and all of a sudden I'm in the Mecca surrounded by people. But the whole point of this was having that mindset and determination, even such a young age, that I knew where I wanted to be, and I knew the place that I believed I had to be to get to where I wanted to be, right? Absolutely. So anyway, so I came back to the UK, back and forward. I'm about 22, 23. I borrowed somebody's car, and I'm driving down the North Circular Road, and a car goes straight into the back of my car. Right, this is how it started. And the boot of the car was a Nissan Micra. Remember them little small cars?
Right, yeah, they were.
The boot of the car cut the back of my head open, right?
Wow.
And that's when the first disc ruptured, and that was this side here.
Oh, right.
And they did a fusion surgery, just C1, C2, when I was 22, 23 years old. And it took about, because you're young, you bounce back fast from surgery. And after that surgery, probably around about, I'd say about 9 months after that surgery, I was back training. And it didn't hamper me at all. I didn't have any, you would never know I'd had that surgery, okay? I had a very slight, less mobility in my neck at that point, very slight. But I was back, and I squatted 350 kilos.
Wow.
You know, I was there, deadlifted 260, 270 kilos. So you wouldn't know it had affected me, you know, I was still strong. And that carried on for years. That was fine up until, so for more than 20 years, right? More than 20 years, until September 2018.
You had to catch up with you, right?
Yeah, I had to catch up with me somehow. And there I was, you know, before them times, I've pressed, you know. I know this sounds like bullshit, but this is, trust me, people who know me will tell you. I've had on a shoulder press, free bar, I've had 4 plates aside, 4 20-kilo plates aside, shoulder pressing back in the day, right? So
I've heard the stories.
Yeah. So that's going to have some compounding effect when you've already had a fusion surgery in your neck.
Absolutely.
So September 2018, I trained shoulders, I trained at Body Limits Gym, I went home, everything was fine. I woke up the next day and I couldn't move my arm at all, completely paralysed.
Wow.
Didn't know what it was, woke up with that. That was kind of freaky. Couldn't even move my finger, not one bit.
Probably thought it was a stroke or something.
Yeah, I had no idea, you know. So they took me in an ambulance to the Luton Dunstable Hospital, straight to the MRI, and they realised that the 2 discs below that they had fused had come out and punctured my spinal column. Okay. They then stuck a load of morphine in me, blue lighted me to Addenbrooke's in Cambridge Hospital, and they immediately did an operation that same day where they cut that side of my throat open from here to here, and they fused C3, C4, C5, C6, C6, C7. So then I've already got C1, C2 fused, right?
Sure.
And what they realised was the first fusion surgery, then having all those years of hard, heavy training, had softened the discs beneath the first fusion discs, and that's why they popped out, right?
Yeah.
And they then punctured the spinal column itself. So after that surgery, I could move my hand, right? But I had no feeling, which I still don't have, and I'll come on to that, in this thumb, this finger up here, the wrist, and this part of my forearm. But what I was left with was this immense pain here.
Okay.
But it was a really weird pain because if you did this, it didn't hurt. But if you did this, or had air conditioning on, it was like through the roof. Or if I walked past someone that just brushed me, or just brushed me, it was like sensitive. The pain was constant. It was constant.
Right.
And they gave me a load of tramadol, and they gave me all these different nerve path painkillers. And I think for my job, I need to use my brain. And it was numbing my thought process. And I thought, you know what? I don't need these painkillers. I'm going to deal with the pain myself. Listen, I know enough about my mind to be able to turn off that pain and be able to switch in what I wanted to do. And I kind of went back to the gym the odd day, 2 days a week, and the pain was so intense, but I keep trying to go back 2 days a week.
I remember I met you at that time when you were just about to have the third.
The third surgery, exactly. Anyway, I then spoke to the surgeon, did another MRI, and he sees that the nerve was still compressed. And he said to me, listen, you're never going to get the feeling back in your fingers and your forearm and your wrist. He said, you're never going to train again. And I said, listen, you don't know me. I said, maybe you'll be right about the physical injury, but in terms of never getting back in the gym, you don't know me, because I am determined. Determined. You tell me I'm not going to do something, I'm going to find a way, I'm going to make a way, I'm going to break a way, I'm going to go through it, over it, under it, round it, I'm going to get there, right? So May the 18th, 2018, they went back in and they cut the back of my neck open, all the way down here.
I think it was 19.
19th of May, and 19th, 18th of May 2019. Big one. The first one was September 2018, so this was May 2019. May 18th of May 2019, and they did the third spinal surgery, where they came through and decompressed the nerve, which alleviated the pain. Right, didn't bring any of the feeling back. So often people see me do this because I can't feel my thumb and finger, and you'll know that when we're in the gym, my wrist gives out, and you see me do this, and I have no feeling in my forearm. And we've had to, through you, we've created strategies to train around that.
Absolutely, we changed angles. We did a lot.
Everything.
We're going to show them in the video where we're going to train.
Okay, and so that took the pain away, and I'll take that every day of the week. I'll take not having pain. And not having, and putting up with not having the feeling than being in pain every day of the week. Sure. And the surgeon was like, well, this is done, but you're not going to get back in the gym. I said, I'm going to get back in the gym. Trust me, I'm going to get back in the gym.
Right.
And then 2 weeks I gave myself to rest. Then I went back in the gym. And the first day I did 20 minutes on the cardio on a bike. And I did a recumbent bike, so I was sitting up, putting no pressure on my neck because I couldn't move my neck. And after 20 minutes, I swear to God, I thought I was going to die.
I remember that. I saw that on Facebook.
Yeah. And then the next day, I thought, I'm going back tomorrow, 20 minutes, thought I was going to die. I did it every single day.
Wow.
2 weeks later, I had 30 minutes. 3 weeks later, I'm 40 minutes. And then I started training lightweights. So the first day I'm going, I'm curling 2 kilos. Like 2 kilos? Like, as we said on the video the other day, right? I didn't even know what a 2 kilo plate was. 2 kilos for me was... something you leave the door open with it on a windy day to make sure it doesn't slam shut. I mean, what is that? It's a biscuit, right? Dunk it in your tea, maybe. What do I want a tea cube, 2 kilo? So mentally, that was quite a tough place to be in, where, here you are, you're not even going backwards, you're going somewhere you've never been. A real dark place. A real dark place.
So is that Elliot on the bed now?
This is Elliot on the bed.
All right.
And this is like me thinking to myself, you know what? There's 2 parts of me, like the devil and the angel, and the devil's going, you're never going to come back from this, you're a cripple, you're never going to get back from where you are, what's the point of having life, because, you're never going to be Elliot Wald again. And the angel's going, you know what, toughen up, motherfucker, slap yourself around the face, just get on with it, right, let's just do it, People always go, listen, and you have people around you going, it could have been worse, you could have lost both your legs, you could be in a wheelchair. That's great, but it doesn't help your own mindset at that time.
Absolutely not.
How many bodybuilders with an injury that people go, yeah, it could have been worse, but at that time, for that person, that's your world.
No. I'm actually injured from toe, literally from toe, left toe, all the way to my neck. So I know exactly how you feel, but then I've never come to spinal surgeries yet.
Okay.
But I can imagine the mental pressure. I can imagine,